You ever have one of those moments where you're just trying to sip coffee and enjoy the quiet, but the world decides to throw a screaming match your way? I'm standing on the porch of our family's lake cabin, watching my niece Mia, all of 28 years old, barefoot in yoga pants, holding a mug like she's on vacation, except there's a sheriff's deputy staring her down, hand on his holster, while Patricia, the HOA queen of Mirror Lake, rants about criminal trespassers like she's auditioning for a true crime show. The kicker? Mia doesn't just have permission to be here, she owns the whole damn cabin. And Patricia's about to learn that the hard way. I'm Ethan, Mia's uncle, a retired mechanic who came up to this cabin in northern Alabama for a weekend of fishing, grilling, and maybe a nap by the water. The cabin's been in our family for 3 generations, passed down to Mia after her dad, my brother, passed away 2 years ago. It's a cozy little place, nestled in pines, right on the edge of Mirror Lake, just outside the gated community where Patricia runs her self-styled Lakeside Harmony Council like it's her personal kingdom. Mia's a corporate lawyer, sharp as a tack, but she hadn't been back since the funeral, too buried in work to deal with the memories. This trip was supposed to be her reset, a chance to reconnect with her dad's favorite spot, until Patricia decided to turn it into a war zone. We'd barely unpacked the cooler when we spotted a neon orange notice taped to the dock. Property under review for unauthorized occupancy. Mia laughed, thinking it was a prank, and tossed it in the trash. I figured some busybody got their wires crossed. Then Patricia showed up, marching down the path in a floral visor and a clipboard, looking like she'd just escaped a garden center sale. She didn't say hello, didn't ask questions, just launched into, "Who are you people? And why are you squatting on community property?" Mia, cool as ever, said, "I'm Mia Carter, and I own this cabin." Patricia didn't even blink. "That's not possible," she snapped, waving her clipboard. "This place has been empty for years. I'd know if someone owned it. I'm calling the sheriff." I could see Mia's jaw tighten. That lawyer look she gets when someone's about to regret underestimating her. "Go ahead," she said, sipping her coffee. "I'll get my paperwork." Patricia dialed 911, practically shouting about suspicious intruders and property theft, painting me as some shady sidekick when all I had was a bag of charcoal and a fishing rod. 10 minutes later, a deputy rolled up, gravel crunching under his tires, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. Patricia ran to him, tears on cue, spinning a tale about squatters ruining the lake's pristine harmony. The deputy asked for ID, and Mia handed over her license, then walked inside and came back with a folder, deed, title transfer, tax records, all stamped and notarized. She handed it over without a word. The deputy flipped through it, raised an eyebrow, and turned to Patricia. "Ma'am, this checks out. She owns the property." Patricia's face froze, mouth opening and closing like a broken gate. "That can't be right," she stammered. "I've been monitoring this cabin. It's abandoned." Mia leaned forward, voice like ice. "You've been monitoring my taxes for 2 years? That's news to me." The deputy gave Patricia a tired look, handed Mia's papers back, and left. Patricia stormed off, muttering about irregularities. But I caught the glint in Mia's eye. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. You'd think that'd be the end of it, just a nosy neighbor eating crow. But Patricia wasn't the type to back down. She didn't just want control, she needed it, like air, and Mia's calm defiance was a direct threat to her little empire. The next morning, we found 4 new violation notices stapled to the gate. Big, ugly things in Comic Sans, citing unapproved dock activity, excessive outdoor lighting, non-compliant porch furniture, and, my favorite, failure to register with the Harmony Council. Mia read them aloud in this deadpan voice, like she was narrating a bad movie, then tossed them in the fire pit. "She's trying to bury us in paperwork," she said, already pulling out her laptop. "She's got no idea who she's dealing with." See, Mia's not just a lawyer, she's the kind who dismantles shady developers for breakfast. This cabin wasn't just a weekend getaway, it was her dad's heart, where they'd spent summers casting lines, roasting marshmallows, watching fireflies. Patricia's fake notices weren't just annoying, they were an attack on that memory. And Mia wasn't about to let that slide. By noon, Patricia had set up a community summit at the lake's picnic shelter, just a card table with 3 neighbors, one half asleep, and a megaphone she didn't need. She waved a stack of papers, claiming they were official bylaws giving her power to protect lakefront integrity. She even accused Mia of running an illegal vacation rental, which was rich since the only guest was me, a guy whose idea of wild is a second helping of ribs. Mia and I showed up. Mostly for the show, me with a bag of chips, her with those lawyer sunglasses that scream, "You're about to lose." Patricia got louder when she saw us, ranting about outsiders disrupting our community values. Mia waited, let her dig her hole, then raised her hand. "Mind if I clarify something?" she asked, voice smooth as the lake on a still day. Patricia hesitated, but the neighbors nodded, curious. Mia laid it out. The cabin was hers, never under HOA control, and Patricia's bylaws were as real as a monopoly deed. She pulled up county records on her phone, showing the Harmony Council wasn't even registered, no charter, no legal standing, nothing. Then she asked, "Who here signed a contract giving Patricia authority over your property?" Dead silence. A guy in a fishing hat coughed. A woman admitted she thought the HOA was just a book club gone rogue. Patricia's face went red, and she snapped, "This is entrapment." Mia just smiled. "No, it's public record." We walked back to the cabin, leaving Patricia to yell at her empty table. That should have been the end, but Patricia wasn't wired for surrender. That night, the porch lights flickered, then died. The coffee maker quit mid-brew. I checked the fuse box. Fine, but out by the dock, I found dig marks near the electrical conduit. Someone had yanked the ground wire loose. Enough to mess with our power, but not enough to hide the sabotage. Mia didn't flinch, just grabbed her tablet and pulled up the security camera she'd installed after the deputy left. There, at 2 a.m., was Patricia, in a hoodie, digging with a trowel like she was hunting buried treasure. "Gotcha," Mia muttered, saving the footage to 3 different drives. She called the sheriff's non-emergency line, reported vandalism and utility tampering, and went to bed with a baseball bat by the door. I stayed up, watching the dark, wondering how someone could be so obsessed with control they'd sneak around like a bad spy movie. The next morning, a new deputy showed up, younger, all business. Mia handed over the footage, timestamps, and a map of the conduit. He nodded, impressed. "Most folks just yell and point," he said. "This is airtight." He promised a full investigation, mentioning charges for property damage and reckless endangerment. Word spread fast. Neighbors started whispering, not about Mia, but about Patricia. One guy, Tom, a retired carpenter, stopped by with iced tea and a story. Patricia had fined him for his unesthetic boat shed, then tried to have it torn down. He kept quiet, scared of her influence. But Mia's stand made him rethink that. "You're not like her," he said to Mia. "You fight fair." Mia just nodded, but I could tell it hit her. This wasn't just about the cabin anymore. It was about the lake, the people, the peace her dad loved. Patricia didn't stop. She switched tactics, spreading rumors that Mia was a disgraced lawyer under investigation, even passing out blurry printouts of Mia's LinkedIn at the general store. It was desperate, pathetic, and it backfired when a local reporter got wind of the sheriff's investigation. Mia gave an interview by the dock, cool and collected, laying out property law like she was teaching a class. She didn't name Patricia, just talked about HOA overreach and how to fight it. Deeds, records, cameras, the works. The segment aired that night, for minutes of pure clarity, with a clip of Patricia's body cam meltdown, her voice screeching about forged deeds over a shot of Mia's title. It went viral. Memes popped up. Squatter Karen trending on X. Neighbors left notes in our mailbox, thanking Mia. One even from a kid who'd once TP'd the cabin and felt bad now. Patricia tried one last move, filing a zoning complaint claiming Mia's ownership was invalid. The county shut it down with a single email. No action required. Mia printed it, pinned it to the fridge, and laughed for the first time in days. But then things got dark. Late one evening, we heard a crash by the shed, glass everywhere, a brick through the window. Mia's camera caught it. Patricia, same hoodie, same flashlight, muttering about taking back the lake. We called the sheriff again. 2 deputies showed up, watched the footage, and served Patricia with papers the next morning: vandalism, tampering, and a restraining order. No handcuffs, no drama. Just a quiet knock and a long walk to the patrol car. Patricia didn't scream, just stared at the ground like she'd finally run out of steam. The lake changed after that. Neighbors stopped whispering, started talking, really talking. Tom shared how Patricia had bullied him into selling part of his lot. An older couple, the Millers, told Mia about their unapproved porch swing getting fined. Mia listened, took notes, and started a folder labeled Mirror Lake Reform. She didn't just want Patricia gone. She wanted the system fixed. She called a homeowners meeting, not under the HOA's fake banner, but as a community forum. The picnic shelter was packed, people standing in the back, some who hadn't shown up to anything in years. Mia laid it all out. The Harmony Council was a sham, no legal power, no right to fine or control anyone. She showed the county's letter, Patricia's violation notices, the footage of her digging. Then she asked, "Who's ready to start over, with real rules, real votes, real fairness?" Hands went up, slow at first, then fast. Tom offered to draft a charter. A retired teacher volunteered to set up a community board online. Even Patricia's old assistant, Karen's cousin Linda, handed over emails showing forged votes and fake fines. The room buzzed, not with anger, but with something new, like hope. Mia filed a civil suit against Patricia, harassment, defamation, property damage, the works. The trial was quick. Mia's evidence was a fortress: footage, emails, county records, neighbor affidavits. Patricia's lawyer tried arguing emotional distress, but the jury wasn't buying it. Mia won, damages, court costs, and a court-ordered apology from Patricia, who had to serve community service under the new association's watch. Her house hit the market a week later, sold quietly, and she was gone. No goodbye. Just a moving truck at dawn. The lake felt lighter, like it could breathe again. Mia fixed the shed window, planted lavender by the porch, and started sanding her dad's old canoe, like she was polishing a memory. The community rebuilt too, a Real association, with open meetings, no sneaky fines. They repainted the picnic shelter, added a sign, Mirror Lake Commons, built by us. No mention of Patricia, she didn't deserve it. Mia took on a county role, advising on HOA regulations, making sure no one else could pull a Patricia. She hosted a barbecue at the cabin, ribs, lemonade, string lights, neighbors laughing like they hadn't in years. Tom played his guitar, kids kicked a soccer ball, and the sheriff dropped off a pie. Mia stood up, tapped her glass, and said, "This lake's ours again. Keep it that way." Everyone cheered, and I swear the water sparkled brighter. That night, as we sat on the dock, moonlight dancing on the lake, Mia looked out and said, "Dad would have loved this." I nodded, left a note in her dad's tackle box. You guarded his place, and then some, and drove home the next day, knowing she'd made the cabin more than a memory. It was a legacy, stronger than ever. But sometimes, I wonder, did Mia fight too hard? She won, sure, but at what cost? All those nights on her laptop, all that stress. All to protect a place that should have been peaceful from the start. Was it justice? Or did Patricia's obsession pull Mia into a battle she didn't need? The lake's quiet now, but I can't shake Patricia's last glare as she left, like she'd be back. Somewhere. Somehow. What do you think? Was Mia right to go full lawyer and bury Patricia? Or should she have walked away and let the lake sort itself out? Ever faced a bully like that, HOA or not, and had to decide how far to push back? Drop your stories in the comments. I'm dying to hear them. If this tale of docs and drama hit you, smash that like button and share it with someone who'd get a kick out of Patricia's downfall.